Me Grimlock here at your birthday.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Johndoe4880's reviews. And today we're going to be talking about G1 Grimlock. Me Grimlock love Johndoe4880's reviews. Today is a special Grimlock today. This is G1, Transformers G1 Grimlock. I'm sorry to say he's a little dusty. I keep him dusty. I don't know why. I don't bother cleaning him. But he's been one of my favorites for a long time. Since the movie, since the cartoon, since everything. So I got him long time ago at one of the conventions. I had another one who was blue. There's been many different versions of this one. There's been a green one. There's been a blue one. This is the original. There's a Diaclone one. There's a black one. There's an orange one. There's a yellow one. Oh man, there's like so many of them. It's unbelievable. But this one here is my favorite because it symbolizes the G1 cartoon. He kicked butt in the Transformers, the '86 movie, and he kicked some butt in the Michael Bay movies. But he's a totally different Transformer altogether. Drinking some water here, folks. So I do apologize if you hear like weird, strange noises. That's me drinking water. This one though, this G1 here is very special. And the reason why it's very special is because he has a tattoo. And so I have to be very careful when I transform him. The tattoo you see underneath his neck, right there, is an autograph of the voice actor who plays him, who talked for him, and Jetfire / Skyfire in the cartoons. His name is Greg Berger. So when you hear him say, "Me, Grimlock," that's Greg Berger. So let's look at some articulation inside the Dinobot mode. So let's check them out here. So you got your Autobot rub sign here. You got your Autobot symbol here. His jaws go up and down like that. Jaws goes up and down. His head goes up and down like this. His little claws here go up and down. I will have to say that these are really tight. They go up and down. You got yourself the the feet here. They go up and they go down. And now this is the back here. This here, open it up, and in Japan he had a little figure that, like a little guy who would go in here. I don't know the whole complete details of it, but yeah. And but yeah, Grimlock's personality. He's had some history with. He's had some history, and some of the history that he's had was Wheeljack and Ratchet. And some of the Autobots, they created him, Sludge, and Slag, and the three Dinobots first, and then they created Snarl and Swoop, because they went haywire, and they needed Snarl and Swoop to fight them off when they went haywire. Because I think the Decepticons, Megatron brainwashed them or something. I don't know. And he ended up rescuing Optimus Prime, and in the show, And then what ended up happening is in the Transformers the movie, he kicked more butt. I think to be honest with you, I think I liked him throughout the whole series. I think I liked him in the Transformers the movie, the '86 movie, the best, because I think he kicked the most butt. and pretty much it was pretty much cooler. He was pretty much cool. Never liked his always liked his beast mode, his T-Rex mode. Never really liked his robot mode. So when you do see him, you always see him like 95% of the time in his dino mode, which is kind of cool. It's kind of funny too when you think about it. But so we already got into articulation. Oh, there's more history. Wheeljack and Ratchet, they made him and the other Dinobots in the comic book. The Ark crash landed on Earth, and they needed something to protect. The real dinosaurs were at the time in that area, and so the Ark actually, which is Teletran 1, I should say, created the Dinobots to fight off Shockwave. Yeah. Now, in cartoons, not cartoons, but in other incarnations, in the comic book, he became the leader of the Autobots, and he had a crown, and a lot of people did not like him, and he ended up killing a lot of the Autobots, and he almost became like a Decepticon. In other incarnations, he was a leader of the Dinobots, and he combined into Volcanicus. This one did not. G1 didn't combine into anything. They didn't start into combining until later on, a few years ago. In the Cyberverse, they called it. And then in the video game, he was part of a group of, he was Black Op team called the Lightning Force or Lightning Strike Coalition, him and the other Dinobots, but they weren't dinosaurs, and Shockwave did experiments on them, and ended up turning them into dinosaurs, and he had the most rage. He had a tail. He was hitting people with his tail. He was strangling people. He was cutting people up with a sword. That's another thing. I don't have accessories for him, unfortunately. But anyways, so let's get him. That's pretty much basically a lot of the history about him. Let's get him in robot mode. I got to be very careful, folks. So what we do is you take the head. Oh, he's got an Autobot symbol here on the thing right here on his thing. You take the head. You push it like that. Then what you do is you collapse that like that. You collapse. I will have to say that I have not transformed him since he's really what do you call that, tight in the way of joints, and I usually don't want to mess with him. Yeah. But anyways, we're going to end up having to keep them like this, I guess. Put that like that. There we go. pop that like that, pop that like that. Then we take this here, we untab this here from here. You pop that like that, and that locks in right here. And then we push this like this. We push these. Like I said, his joints are very, very. And we push the legs down like this. These are the legs. There you go. Then you take this here and you push this like that, and then you push this like that, and you push that, and there. Oh, and then you got to take the arms, and you got to push that like that, and you got to push. There you go. And there he is. There's Grimlock. And yes, he could stand. It's just a table. It's just a table that's there you go. There you go. So there he goes. There he is in all of his glory. So he did come. Normally he comes with a sword and a gun, and pretty much that there, which is pretty cool. He did have a sword in the show, and he was fighting off people in the show. In one of the episodes, he did have a gun, and he was shooting. He shot some people that in the movie, and then along with him munching metal. And he always talked third person, which I kind of liked. Me, Grimlock. Me, Grimlock. Like that. And so let's see here. Let's look at robot articulation here. His arms can move, but it's limited with this thing back here. The arms can move. Like that. And pretty much his legs, they move like this. He can also move this back a little bit. Back like this, back like that. This is not the Link Grimlock. This is the original. Now, he can do Grimlock. Me, Grimlock can do a Van Damme. He can do a Van Damme all day, every day. Which is pretty cool. And yeah. So that's him in a nutshell. Let's get him back into Dino mode. So what we do is we take the legs, we put the legs like this. Well, first, I'm sorry. Let's go back here. Let's go. You put the legs, you push this down, the hips down like that. You put this down here like that, the hips. And then what you do is then you can put the legs down like this. And then this part here goes into this part here. Mine is extremely tight. I don't know why, but mine is like extremely, extremely tight. There you go. And then you push that like that. Like that. And I worry about, I'm going to break mine. Usually they're not this tight. I don't know why this one's so tight. But you push that like that. You put that like that. And you get his tail. Okay, so now for the chest part, you go like this. You just grab it and you push it. And it should go into this. I don't know if you could see it from here, but these two little dudes, there's 2 tabs here and there's a tab there. And you can see the little hole here and a little hole there. And that should just pop right in, which it does, into that. You take this, you push that in with this little thing here, and you also you do the other side like that. Like that. You just take your fist and you go like that, and it pops in like that. That becomes the legs. And then what you do is you take this and you push this down, and you got a little thing here. This little tab goes into this little hole right here to cover the head and to reveal his tattoo that he's got, Greg Berger tattoo. And then his head comes down, and voila, here is Grimlock in his dino mode. I actually really like easy transformation, beautiful character. Although my joints were really tough on him and everything, I really absolutely like him, and I recommend picking it up complete, sword and gun, and supposedly I think he's even got a missile launcher too. Supposedly some of them do. I have yet to get the missile launcher and yet to see the missile launcher. But yeah, so let's see, I give him a 8 out of 10. And the reason why I give him an 8 out of 10 is because of the articulation. Well, he's got good I'm going to change my opinion. I might change my opinion. He's got articulation in his arms, you know, and his legs here. Boom, boom, boom. They go back and forth in dino mode, you know. So and then you also have this here too. What I failed to mention is this part over here. Like, this will actually go like this. So he kind of got like a little bit of in robot mode. He's kind of got a little bit of arm swivel, a little bit, and so you got this here. So, but and you know, so you can turn and everything. But I really like him. Like I said, I give him, you know, and then you got this here. I give him about a 8. And the reason why I'm giving him 8 is because this is the original. So he does have really cool articulation in the arms and in the mouth and in the head and everything. And this part here and this part here turns, you know, but he could have had a little bit more articulation in the legs, you know, like doing leg, you know, leg joints can go up and down and all that other stuff. But for that time of G1 and everything, they were very limited on what they did on a budget and everything else. But yeah, still, I think he's a cool figure. I recommend him to pick up all the Dinobots, and he's the leader of them. And so like, subscribe, and yeah, like, subscribe, and enjoy. Me, Grimlock, love parks. Me, Grimlock, love. Me, Grimlock, love Pepsi. Me, Grimlock, love riding in bicycles and e-bikes. Yes.